Assalamu alaikum. We are going to start the final exam syllabus. So the first chapter of the final exam is chapter 20, and the chapter is about perfectly competitive markets. So we are almost at the end of introduction to microeconomics, and please remember in chapter 1 we learned that in microeconomics we want to study markets. So in the last part of microeconomics we are going to study the concept of markets. So in the final exam we are going to study mainly 4 different types of markets, and in chapter 20 we are studying the first kind of markets. So please remember this: in the final exam we are going to study 4 types of markets, and in chapter 20 we are covering the first type. So this market is called the perfectly competitive market. So that is the title of the chapter. In the book this is also called perfect competition. You can use the words interchangeably. So perfectly competitive markets or perfect competition. The idea is that inside perfectly competitive markets, perfect competition takes place. So they mean the same thing. So first of all, we are going to study the characteristics of perfectly competitive markets. But before looking at the characteristics, let's discuss about some examples. So examples of perfectly competitive markets, they include, for example, the rice market of Bangladesh or Dhaka. So more precisely, we are talking about a specific kind of rice, let's say miniket rice or Nadir Shah rice. So a particular type of rice, their market is a perfectly competitive market. Uh, and another example could be the egg market. So let's say the farmed eggs, farmer murgi ডিমের যে মার্কেটটা আছে, that is also a perfectly competitive market. And another unique example for Dhaka or Bangladesh is the rickshaw market, where we take the rickshaw service to travel from one place to another. So all of these are quite good examples of perfectly competitive markets. So this is just a specific type of market. So if you think carefully, you will see all of these markets have some common characteristics which we are going to highlight now. So now we are going to look at the characteristics of perfectly competitive market. So what are the common characteristics? Think about it. Almost every household buys rice, every household buys egg, and almost every households take rickshaw rides, take this service. So therefore there are many buyers, and if you look around you will also see there are many sellers of rice and egg. For example, almost every street has a general store that sells eggs or rice, so there are many sellers. So that is the first characteristic of a perfectly competitive market. And there is another important point that we should write along with this characteristic. So this is also true that every seller or buyer, so I'm sorry, not sellers, every seller and buyer is a very small part of the market, is a, in fact, according to the book, is a insignificant part of the market. So what does this particular sentence mean? So this particular sentence implies that there are so many rice shops, right? So many general stores selling rice. One particular general store is insignificant. It's a very, very small part of the market. So even if they shut down their shop, even if they stop selling rice, it won't really affect the rice market of Bangladesh. Same goes for, let's say, the rickshaw market. There are so many rickshaw pullers. If suddenly one rickshaw puller falls sick and he stops supplying rickshaw rides, he stops providing rickshaw service, it won't really affect the rickshaw market at all, right? So that is what we mean when we say every seller is an insignificant part of the market. So because of this point, something very interesting happens. A seller cannot affect the market price. So a particular seller, he cannot really change, increase or decrease the market price. A seller cannot affect the market price or cannot change the market price. Now this is a very interesting and important point. Remember, in chapter 3 we discussed about this. So this is just a side note. You don't have to write this down, not part of chapter 20. It's just for your broader understanding. So remember, in chapter 3 we talked about this. For example, Ramadan is coming up. During Ramadan, what do syndicates do? They lower the supply. So remember, this is a market according to the model of demand and supply. So what happens in Ramadan is a few powerful syndicates, they lowered the supply. So together some powerful sellers are lowering the supply, and because of this the price increases. This was the previous price before Ramadan. This is the new price during Ramadan. As you can understand, the price is going up. So this is the Ramadan price. So this is how sellers can affect the price of markets. This is how sellers can change the price of markets. But this phenomena cannot occur in a perfectly competitive market. এই জিনিসটা perfectly competitive market হওয়া সম্ভব না, হবে না. Why? Because every seller is a insignificant part of the market, right? Every seller is insignificant. So কোনো সেলারই এভাবে সাপ্লাই কার্ভ সরাতে পারবে না. None of the sellers can decrease the supply like this. You understand? Because he is such a small part of the market, he cannot shift the supply curve. So that is the main point here, a very important point. Moving on to the next characteristic. So let's move on to the second characteristic of the perfectly competitive market. So think about the rice market. Every rice in each and every general store, they're the same. So that is the second characteristic of a perfectly competitive market, that every seller sells a homogeneous product. So homogeneous means identical. So for example, the rice in every shop is the same. So that is the simple example. Same rice in every shop. And definitely this is true, right? The egg is the same in every shop, the rice is the same in every shop. So please remember, we are talking about a particular variety of rice. So for example, miniket rice is the same in every shop, no doubt. So this is a very important, you could say, the defining characteristic of a perfectly competitive market. The many markets have the first characteristic, right? In many markets you will find there are many buyers, many sellers, but this is the defining characteristic of a perfectly competitive market. So moving on to the third characteristic, but anyways, before moving on, let's just think about let's move on to the third characteristic, then we'll come back to the second characteristic, then we'll think about this. So the third characteristic is that buyers and sellers have all information. Buyers and sellers have all information. So in some books this is called perfect information. So it means every buyer knows about the price in every shop. Every buyer knows about the ingredients with which the product is being made. Similarly, the sellers also know about all the products that they're selling. So that is the idea of perfect information. This is a little unrealistic, this particular assumption, but this particular characteristic. But in today's world, in the world of information technology, where everyone has access to internet, this is quite true. For example, you can easily Google and find out the price of miniket rice. You can Google and find out the price of eggs, and now you are frequently updated through the media about the way eggs are being produced, about the way rice is being produced. So those information are also available on the internet. So you could say that nowadays this is quite true, right? Anyways, now we will try to think about these two characteristics together. So characteristic 2 and characteristic 3 together has some very interesting implications. So think about it, right? The rice in every shop is the same. So every shop is selling the same rice. So this shop is selling the same rice, this shop is selling the same rice, every shop is selling the same rice. And buyers and sellers know this information. They know that the rice in every shop is the same. So if one seller, if they increase the price of rice, what will happen? The buyers will go to the other shops. So think about it, the buyers will not buy from this particular shop because they're increasing the price, right? They're increasing the price. So therefore no one is going to go here. Every buyer will avoid this shop and they will all go to the other shop because they will get the same rice at a lower price, and they have this information. So please think about this, because of these two characteristics, a seller cannot sell at a higher price, right? A seller cannot sell at a higher price because of these two characteristics. And there is another important point. A seller can sell all of the rice. For example, remember that assumption, there are many buyers. So every household in Dhaka, in Bangladesh, they buy rice. So there are many buyers. Because of this, every seller, right, every seller can sell all the rice they want at the market price. For example, এখন মার্কেটে চালের দাম let's say 60 টাকা. So at 60 টাকা they can sell all the rice in their shop. So because of this, no one will lower the price as well. So this is another important assumption you can say, যে অ্যাজামশনটা আমাদের বইতে স্পেশালি মেক করা হচ্ছে, এটা আমি আসলে অন্য কোনো বইতে এভাবে পাই নাই, বাট ইট মেক্স সেন্স টু মি, রাইট? সিন্স দেয়ার আর মেনি বায়ার্স, sellers can sell their rice, sellers can sell their rice. So for example, ধরো একটা জেনারেল স্টোরে তোমার 25 কেজি চাল আছে, রাইট? আর মার্কেটে চালের দাম 60 টাকা। সো অ্যাট 60 টাকা দে উইল বি এবল টু সেল দেয়ার 25 কেজি রাইস। সো বিকজ অফ দিস দ্য সেলার্স উইল নট লোয়ার দ্য প্রাইস অফ রাইস। সেলার্স ক্যান সেল দেয়ার রাইস or product at the market price. সো তারা মার্কেট প্রাইসেই বিক্রি করতে পারছে সব চাল বা সব ডিম। সো therefore they do not lower the price. They do not lower the price of rice. So please remember, ultimately at the end of the day we are trying to explain reality. আমরা বাস্তবতাতে যেটা দেখছি আমরা সেটাই ইকোনমিক্সে ব্যাখ্যা করতে চাচ্ছি। সো ইন রিয়ালিটি বাস্তবতাতে এটাই দেখা যায় যে প্রতিটা দোকানে চালের দাম সেম, প্রতিটা দোকানে ডিমের দাম সেম, প্রতিটা রিক্সাওয়ালা অলমোস্ট তোমার কাছে সেম ভাড়াই চাবে, ধরো নর্থ সাউথ থেকে বসুন্ধরা গেট পর্যন্ত। সো ইন মোস্ট কেসেস দ্য প্রাইস ইজ দ্য সেম, it is not higher, it is not lower. So what is the reason? Economics is trying to provide an explanation. So the reasons are this, right? There are many buyers, many sellers. So no one can really change the price of the market, no one can manipulate the price of the market. And since every seller is selling the same product, the buyers have all the information, they cannot really increase the price. For example, a rice seller cannot sell at a higher price suddenly, because the buyers, they know that this is the market price of rice and there are other shops selling the same rice. So no one will buy from a seller who is selling at a high price. So that is why sellers cannot increase the price as well. Anyways, so these are the important points we should take from the beginning of chapter 20. There is one last characteristic of the perfectly competitive market. Remember, আমরা so far 3টা characteristic দেখেছি, right? As you can see here. So perfectly competitive market এর আমরা 3টা characteristic দেখলাম, এটা একটা third one. So now we move on to the last and final characteristic, number 4. So this is not very important right now, but still let's complete all the characteristics. So আপাতত আমাদের এটা নিয়ে খুব একটা চিন্তা করতে হবে না, let's just try to understand this 4th characteristic. So the last characteristic is this, that sellers can easily enter and leave the market. So what does this mean? Sellers can easily enter and leave the market. So for example, this could mean any seller, any businessman can easily start selling rice. So for example, in Dhaka you can easily open a general store and you can easily start selling rice. So that is what the 3rd characteristic means. And it also means a seller can easily leave the market. So for example, if a seller decides to stop operating his general store, if a seller decides to stop selling rice, he or she can easily do this. So that's what the 4th characteristic means. For now you don't have to worry too much about this, we'll talk about this later on. So what is the important lesson, what is the important takeaway from this discussion? So please remember that a seller in a perfectly competitive market, so for example in a rice market, so a seller in a perfectly competitive market, first of all, a seller in a perfectly competitive market is called a perfectly competitive firm. So this is just the language of economics, a perfectly competitive firm. So for example, একজন চাল বিক্রেতাকে আমরা ইকোনমিক্সের ভাষায় বলবো a perfectly competitive firm. একজন রিকশাওয়ালাকে আমরা বলতে পারি a perfectly competitive firm অথবা a perfectly competitive seller. So please remember, a perfectly competitive seller, he cannot influence the market price. So সে মার্কেটের প্রাইসটা বাড়াতে পারবে না, কমাতে পারবে না, because he is a very small part of the market, cannot affect the market price. আর কি ইম্পর্টেন্ট পয়েন্ট আছে আমরা একটু আগে দেখলাম, যে তারপর আমরা এটাও দেখলাম যে আ পারফেক্টলি কম্পিটিটিভ ফার্ম, একজন রিক্সাওয়ালা বা চাল বিক্রেতা, হি ক্যানট সেল অ্যাট আ হায়ার প্রাইস। ফর এক্সাম্পল, সাধারণত যেটা হবে যে একজন রিক্সাওয়ালা যদি 8 নাম্বার গেট থেকে 2 নাম্বার গেট থেকে বসুন্ধরা গেট 30 টাকা চায়, মোস্ট লাইকলি কেউ যাবে না, বিকজ এভরি ওয়ান নোজ দ্য মার্কেট প্রাইস ইজ 20 টাকা, রাইট? সো পারফেক্টলি কম্পিটিটিভ সেলার cannot sell at a higher price. So সে মার্কেটের থেকে বেশি দামেও বিক্রি করতে পারছে না, cannot sell at a higher price. আর আরেকটা পয়েন্ট আমরা দেখলাম যে দে উইল নট সেল অ্যাট আ লোয়ার প্রাইস অ্যাজ ওয়েল। ফর এক্সাম্পল, কোনো রিক্সাওয়ালাই আসলে তোমাকে অফার করবে না আমি 15 টাকায় আপনাকে 2 নাম্বার গেট থেকে বসুন্ধরা গেট পর্যন্ত নিয়ে যাব, কারণ সে জানে 20 টাকাতেই একটা কাস্টমার যাবে। সো আ পারফেক্টলি কম্পিটিটিভ সেলার উইল নট সেল অ্যাট এ লোয়ার প্রাইস। সো খেয়াল করে দেখো, এই 3টা পয়েন্ট যদি আমরা একসাথে কনসিডার করি, the seller cannot change the market price, he will not sell at a higher price, and he will not sell at a lower price, তাহলে আলটিমেটলি কি দাঁড়াচ্ছে যে the seller will sell at the market price, তার মানে তাকে মার্কেট প্রাইসেই বিক্রি করতে হবে। তার মানে ফর এক্সাম্পল, একজন রিক্সাওয়ালাকে তোমার ওই 20 টাকাতেই তোমার রাইড দিতে হবে, তোমাকে সার্ভিস প্রোভাইড করতে হবে। ফর এক্সাম্পল, একটা চাল বিক্রেতাকে ওই 60 টাকাতেই তার চাল বিক্রি করতে হবে, বাড়াতেও পারছে না, কমাতেও পারছে না। সো উইল সেল অ্যাট দি মার্কেট প্রাইস। সো ইন মেনি মার্কেটস দিস হ্যাপেন্স, যে মার্কেট প্রাইসেই তাদেরকে বিক্রি করতে হয়। সো দ্য সেলার উইল সেল অ্যাট দি মার্কেট প্রাইস because of the characteristic, right? Because of the characteristics of the market, they will have to sell at the market price. So this is true, right? At the end of the day, a seller in the perfectly competitive market will sell at the market price. So because of this, a seller in this market is called a price taker. প্রাইস টেকার কেন? কারণ সে মার্কেটের প্রাইসটা টেক করছে, তাকে এটাই নিতে হচ্ছে, রাইট? হি হ্যাজ টু টেক দ্যাট প্রাইস, হি ক্যানট চেঞ্জ দ্য প্রাইস। সো দ্যাট ইজ ওয়াই দ্য সেলার্স ইন দিস মার্কেট আর কল্ড প্রাইস টেকার্স। So please read the slides of chapter 20. This only covers the first few slides, but probably this is the most important part of chapter 20. You could say probably even the most important part of the final exam. So please try to understand this, try to think about this, relate it to markets around you, right? So try to see which markets in Dhaka, in Bangladesh, are perfectly competitive markets. Please try to think about that. So thank you for listening. Take care, stay safe.